Like when you initially got this epiphany and you cut ties with that person, and it's like it took everything out of you to cut ties with them. This other person is also spiritual, okay? But it's not, I'm not gonna say that they're not high vibration. I mean, if they were at one point in time, they're operating out their lower vibration right now, right? But it's almost with them, they sense a disconnect with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's one or two things. If this person is spiritually tapped in, they've been trying to attune with you and realize that there's like a vacancy there. And it's like, oh, I know they ain't me somebody, right? For others of you, it's like they've just been lurking, stalking type of deal, right? And their whole thing is, if it's back on this whole spiritual side, right? This person knows you're not putting energy into this connection anymore. And that's concerning to them because they can't have that. It's like, you can't not just be giving me energy. You know what I'm saying? So they are plotting on a way to bring you back into the fold. So for some of them, and this is, like I said, it's on both sides. Some of them intuitively know that you've connected with someone else. Others of them know that you connected with someone else because they either heard it through the grapevine or they've just been watching your stuff and seeing that there's somebody that you're interacting with or whatever. Or people have been telling them that it's somebody that you've been around quite a bit. But this person knows your weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? They know just what to say. They know just what to do to bring you back into the fold. And why do they know this? Because this was a situation where you put in way more effort than was ever given back to you. It's like you constantly like put energy into this situation for probably years, could be, you know? And this person, they never reciprocated, not because they didn't know what you want. They never reciprocated because they knew that's what you wanted them to do. And they were choosing on purpose to not do it because they knew that you would keep putting energy into this in hopes of them reciprocating. And that's why you held on for so long. Because you looked at them and you were like, they're a good person, they're sweet, kind. I just know that they're going through something right now. And it's like when they're ready, like, you know, they'll give back. They'll see, like, I stuck by them through all of this, right? But the whole time they knew, they just was like, nope, you know. So with them being aware of what it is you always wanted them to do, that's what they would be coming back to do. So like I said with Virgo, if this person ain't never bought you nothing or did anything for you and all the time of you knowing them, not even bought you a 4 for 4, you know what I'm saying? Be on guard of that. If they all of a sudden come back like, you know, Rico Suave or, you know, the woman of your dreams on some stuff, and all of a sudden want to give you everything it is that they have never given you before, right? So suddenly now they want to do this stuff. That's red flag number 1. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, listen, this is wild. Yeah, man. So it's like this person is going to come back because doing everything it is that they've never done before. And that's where I said it's like this energy starts getting very like eerie and like dark for me because it's creepy to me of somebody tapping into the spiritual realm and using it to control people. Because this is, again, the same energy that I feel where this person looks at you like property. And I said, it's like, it's a real like dark energy and the fact that they don't want you, but they want you. It's like you're an object to them and they want to have ownership of you. They don't want to see you happy. So for some people, again, on the spiritual side, some of them are attuned enough to know that this person that's in your life now that you've met, or for those of you who are single, like you broke up with this person and you haven't met anyone yet, this person is coming into your life. So if this hasn't happened for you, when this person comes in, your little karmic partner gonna come back and try to do this foolishness. You know what I'm saying? It's like they know, and they're trying to block you from being with your counterpart. That's their goal. Because for them, they like to see you in a submitted position with like a leash around your neck and them holding it. They don't want to give you anything. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to make you happy, but they don't want to see you have happiness without them either. And that's where I say that that's a really dark energy, because a person who thinks like that, you know what I'm saying? Is one thing for like, oh, you know, we broke up and I'm so sad. And it's like, I hope they don't never find nobody that loved them. Like, that's one thing. But like with this person, this is like legit. I really don't want to see you happy. Like, that's full on like manifestation of envy, because there's a difference between jealousy and envy. And envy is way more darker than jealousy is, because jealousy is like, I have something that's important to me and there's a threat to it and I'm scared that you're going to take it away. So kind of like, that's my best friend, and then my best friend get a new best friend that's like, that's my best friend. I'm jealous, right? But then envy is so much darker, because envy says like, you have something that I want, right? And I want what you have, but I also want you to not have it. Like, I want like your life on some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I want your car, but I don't want a car like it. I want your car, and I want you to not have any way to get around, because that would bring me joy. To take something that means something to you from you, I get joy from that. And that's like the energy I'm getting from this person. That's not good. Like, not even a little bit. It's not like, oh, I'm a little jealous that my ex moved on. Like, no, like, I legit don't want to see you happy. And if I have to go to the extent of, you know, playing nice or whatever to get back into your space, then I'm going to do that. You feel me? And I feel like this transcends you, because I feel like this person is very miserable on the inside. They missed the boat. They missed the revelation that you're supposed to turn like your pain into power, right? Like, every heartbreak or pain that you experience in your life, that's like fuel to make you into like superhuman beast mode. You know, like, you're supposed to bounce back with that extra, right? But they kind of missed the boat on that, right? So with them, they just allowed pain to make them darker and darker and darker and darker and more darker, to where it's like, the only time I ever feel anything in life, which is a very sadistic energy, I only find pleasure out of causing other people pain. That brings me joy. Like, that's a good day for me. Like, I ruined someone's life. Like, it's my kind of Monday. You know what I'm saying? Happening here. And I said, and this isn't for everyone. This is a small group of people. This ex is plotting. So their goal is to come in, do everything it is that they've never done before. Like I said, that's red flag number one. Number two is they're going to try to do some type of sweet, nice little date with you or whatever. And I feel like this is more for women than it is for dudes, because I mean, I guess this is possible with dudes, but I don't know how that would work. But just follow me. But well, I mean, I guess it could in that way. But anyway, so they're going to, like, you know, want to do something with you, like dinner or something, or invite you over to their house, or they come over to your house. You guys get to drinking, you know, you're not in your right mind, y'all liquored up and things of the sort. And then they're going to want to have sex with you. Now, the kind of sex that they're going to have with you is like probably completely like mind blowing type of stuff. Like, it's going to be the absolute best sex you've probably ever had in your life. Right. But it's like one of two things are going to happen. For some of you, they're going to take pictures, or they're going to videotape it. Right. And that's for people where the ex person knows the new person you're talking to, or is connected to them somehow, like they have mutual friends or something. So they're going to do that or whatever. And then they're chunking up the deuces. Right. For others, they're going to do that and then just deuce out, like just disappear, like ghost you. So they're going to give you the illusion, because it's like, and that's more or less to me for people who are like waiting for this person to come back, because it's like they know, right? So it's like you cut ties and you're like, oh, you know, I'm going to let go. And it's like they know that. So they're going to come back and be everything it is that they never were before. You know what I'm saying? And the whole thing is to like kind of leave you high and dry. And they're going to leave and go back to someone else. But it's like, still in all, there's this undersided understanding. And that's why I say, like, it's kind of like some people are conscious of this and other people are unconscious of it. But the whole purpose of this whole thing is because it's trying to prevent this partnership from coming together. right? Which is the same thing I felt with Virgo, which is the same thing that I felt with Leo. It's like, and that's where I say it's like, it's so crazy because it's almost like a spiritual battle, because it's like, I feel like it's bigger than the people, right? It's like these are energies that are playing out through people, but it's so much bigger than the people. You know what I'm saying? It's like a dark force that's trying to prevent these two people from coming together, because what that means. And it's like, when I realized that, and this video didn't record, that's the whole reason why I was like, no, I gotta go live and I gotta do this reading. They're gonna have to shut down YouTube for me to not get this doggone message out, dang son of a gun. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole vibe that is like I'm feeling here. Now, like I said, this aligns a lot with all of these readings I've been getting for months. I don't know who this person is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what sign they are. Because like I said, the energy comes up in readings, but the disadvantage that I have of pinpointing what zodiac sign this is the fact of, when I read, it's like I'm reading for you, but then I'm also taking into account the fact that cross watchers are going to be looking at the video, right? And sometimes the energies that I'm picking up, my intention is to read for the sign, but it could be flip-flop. Like the person who's cross-watching it could realize the way that I'm talking about the cross-watcher is actually what the sign is doing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's a person that has a combination of these signs in their chart, but a lot of this is going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who it is. Real talk. Really though. It's a divide, man. And that's why I say it's like a very sadistic energy, because this person really gets pleasure out of causing people pain. And that's just disgusting to me. Like it literally is actually what the sign is doing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's a person that has a combination of these signs in their chart, but a lot of this is going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who it is. Real talk. Really though. It's a divide, man. And that's why I say it's like a very sadistic energy, because this person really gets pleasure out of causing people pain. And that's just disgusting to me. Like it literally is. Like, that's not cool. But that's the whole thing of why it's important for you guys to really be in tune, because you can kind of sidestep this stuff. It can really be done to prevent you and this person from coming together. Like that's where this becomes humorous for me, because it's the fact that, like I talked about in the Virgo reading, about what fate really is. Like when we talk about like predestination, fate, or destiny, it's not that you're submissive to this whole concept and you're just like a pawn that's living out this fate that was preordained for you and you had no say in it. It's like, at least my belief system is that we were all in cahoots before we got in these bodies. And every person that you were intended to meet, from your karmic partner, soulmates, twin flames, whatever, these are all contracts that were made prior to incarnation. So it's the whole key of needing to tune back in to remember the truth of who you really are and what you're doing, so you can get dominion over your life, as opposed to feeling at the will of life. Because at the end of the day, the bigger will that you're living is yours, you know? But it just feels like really crappy stuff happens because it's not understanding in a higher mind sense the why. Like what this person is not understanding. Not turning the pain into power, of understanding what karmic lessons really are and what you're really supposed to be gaining from the stuff that you're going through, because it's not supposed to make you weak. It's not supposed to make you feel, oh my gosh, all these bad things are happening to me, like God hates me. That's not why every challenge you've ever faced in your life has been there. That's not what it was ever about. It's the whole thing that it's supposed to be bringing the lion that's lying dormant within you out. And for you to manifest that into this realm, because that's who you really are. You aren't weak. You aren't stupid. You aren't dumb. You aren't less than. You're not talented. You know what I'm saying? You aren't unlovable. You know what I'm saying? It's like all of that stuff is a lie. Those are all lies that you've been conditioned to believe since you were a child, and none of it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? And now it's time to align with that truth. to come out of agreement with every lie you've ever believed about yourself, and to remember who it is that you really are, so that you can handle your business. You know what I'm saying? The truth is, man, like the pain in all of this is of detachment, right? Because the thing is like, it's kind of pulling off a band-aid. Because I mean, the overall feeling that I get is like going through life, most of your life, and thinking that this path you've been taking is the one. So, and a lot of times that comes in romantic relationships. So the thing that I'm saying is, because like I said, I can't pick up everyone's energy. But for those of you, like, you know, if you don't know this person to be this maniacal, or even if the person comes back and they're doing things that they just don't do, it's a need to be practical. And that's the reason why this balance between spirituality and practicality is so important. Because the thing I say, and it's like, I'm thankful for this. For those of you who don't know, I am a therapist, right? So, but I'm also intuitive, right? Which I feel like sometimes is unfair when I date. But anyway, hashtag mommy issues. Anyway, but the whole key is here is that there has to be a balance between these two extremes. Because when we talk about a person, right, who has like childhood trauma, has an addiction, you know what I'm saying? Like a full-on drug addiction. You know what I'm saying? And entertaining the idea that you could be separated for this person for 30 days and that they're going to come back as a whole nother person, that does not happen. That's literally impossible. That would be like full-on miracle, divine revelation, touch and go type stuff. That's not how it works. Because everything it is that you learn, there's a process of it being unlearned. And just like kind of how I said with this download you guys got, and with it unfolding, and it becomes greater and greater over time, like that's life. Everything is a process. You know what I'm saying? It's like we don't just jump from, you know, summer to, you know, winter and then bam, spring. It's like there's a process. It's a process of ascending to descending, to ascending to descending. And everything in nature, except for mankind, is submissive to the order of things, right? So, and that's why, like, a lot of times if you see like anybody who pulls oracle cards and it talks about spending time in nature, the reason why it's so imperative to spend time in nature is not just for the therapeutic benefits of it, but it's to look at nature. Look at how things perform in the order in which they were created. You know what I'm saying? And seeing those similarities between nature and humanity. You know what I mean? The connection between the two. So, and like the whole reason why, like I say, why I wrote the book, when I'm here, why I try to be as honest as possible with you guys with stuff, is because a lot of times we can get into like a 7 of Cups energy, hoping for something that literally is not possible. And now, mind you, I'm a pragmatic idealist. So I do believe that the impossible is possible, but within reason. Now, me being a person who works with people who have addictions, like a person just all of a sudden today, like I was on crack yesterday, but today I'm delivered. I'm not smoking crack no more. It's not that easy, because it's the mind frame of an addict that you grew into, and it's a need to unlearn that. And sometimes, like if you think about Alcoholics Anonymous, is the need to supplement that with something else. So it'll end up being something like, you know, spirituality, you know, because that's when we start getting into like the brain and dopamine levels and, you know what I'm saying, all that other kind of stuff, like psychopharmacology and whatnot. And understanding that it's not a snap of a finger. People don't change in a day. Because I work with people every day who desperately want to change. People who've been working at it for years, you know what I'm saying? And wishing it could happen in a day. But it's just not that easy. So I want to say that for people, if you have a person who is sadistic, you know what I'm saying? Or a person who's a narcissist, you know what I'm saying? And thinking that this person could leave you for a month and come back as a different person, dog. Nah. Twin flame or not, like that's not how that works. You know what I'm saying? It didn't take them 30 days to get the way that they are. You know what I'm saying? And inherently, like I say, your higher self expressing itself through your personality, what it took me years to learn, Like, I'm the same princess that I've always been. I've always been this person. Like, since I was a kid, I've acted like this my whole life, you know? But my awareness is different, but it's still expressed the same way I've always expressed myself. You feel me? But I can even say, with my like 10-year span, like a decade of this process of me being in, it's a work every day. Every day I'm putting thought and work into not being who I used to be, because who I used to be, that's easy. It's easy for me to go back to that. It's easy to be low vibe. That's nothing. Anybody can step back to that. That takes no work. But to maintain this life, like someone said earlier, of like always continuously learning, that's what this is about. It's about being in a continued position or state of here, like beingness, communion with spirit, going into the inner temple on a regular basis. Like, this is the state that you're always living in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that to say, if it's someone you're disconnecting from, or if it's somebody that you're waiting to come back, there's a need to look in the mirror and to be very honest with yourself, to be very practical about this and think about what you're really dealing with. And the best example, like I said, I could come up with that right now is like a person with an addiction. You know what I'm saying? It's like if a person being an addict is the reason why, like, you guys went your separate ways, to think that in 2 weeks or in 30 days, when recovery is a work within itself. So that's something that is a perfect idea. If you think about how you are, the process you're going through in your awakening is the equivalent of what an addict is dealing with in recovery, because you are always in recovery. Because at the heart of it, you're an addict, but I'm an addict in recovery. So my recovery work needs to be a part of my life. That becomes my lifestyle. My recovery becomes my lifestyle. So the same with spirituality. You know what I'm saying? And if ever it's a situation like it was with Leo, where it's abusive, and you find that you feel tied and bound to a person who is abusive to you, the reason why you're in dissension with the self and you realize this person like hits me, worst case scenario, but I still am drawn to them. Why is that? What's wrong with me? That's the sign that it's time for us to explore that and to get to the root of why that is. You feel what I'm saying? And that's like why I say all of this twin flame stuff, dog, it is so much deeper than you just having somebody to love. It is so much deeper than that. It's so many things that spirit is trying to show all of us in these relationships that we've been in up to this point. But it's a need to step back and to be less fixated on the fact that I just want to be in union. I just want to be in union. I just want to be with this person. I just want us to be together. It's less about that and focusing more on all of these little red flags, signals, man downs that's been going on around you that you haven't been paying attention to, like your feelings, the stuff you've been thinking. I've had some people even tell me the fact that this union, they've never considered suicide in their life. But the first time they've ever considered it was dealing with people like this. Like, that's not cool, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a place of waking up that has to happen in relation to this. Or why the desire fits so heavy to where one is self-degrading to be with someone. Or why you think you have to go without. You know what I'm saying? Why you have to sacrifice so much for love. You know? Or like I said with Libra, being so used to people who, being in relationships that are unrequited, that when you meet a person who actually wants to give their heart to you, you don't even know what to do with that. Like, that scares the hell out of you. Like, how are you just giving me love? Like, I didn't have to do anything. Like, why are you just being nice and being suspicious of that? You know? So those are all things you want to take into account. I know that it's like hella heavy. I know it is. But I mean, I don't know. It's so much that's before you that is going to make everything that you've been through up to this point worth it. You know what I'm saying? But it's a need to find that inner lion within you to transform this pain that you've endured into power, because that's the only reason why you've ever endured pain in the first place. That's the only reason why, you know? And I keep looking at this girl. Like, that's the goal. The whole time talking, I'm just looking at her. It's just like, I'm letting this go. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm bigger than this. I'm better than this. It's like, I'm ready for my real life now. And, you know, your little spiritual goon gang is like dabbing in things in the background and whatnot. Y'all are coming in alignment with the real. And it's painful. It's painful letting that go. It's like I said, taking a Band-Aid off.